Imagine a man so wealthy he could buy a private island, a fleet of jets, and the world's most expensive mansions without blinking. Now, imagine that same man driving a 20-year-old battered Volvo, flying economy class next to backpackers and reportedly taking extra salt and pepper packets from restaurants to avoid waste. This isn't a fictional character. This was Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA and at one point the richest person on the planet. But behind the blue and yellow warehouses that now define the modern home lies a story of obsession, a secret battle with dyslexia, and a controversial past that almost destroyed his reputation. How did a boy who started by selling matches to his neighbors build a global empire that effectively decided how the entire world sleeps, eats, and lives? This is the untold story of the man who turned flat-pack furniture into a multi-billion-dollar revolution. Ingvar Kamprad was born in 1926 in Småland, Sweden. This wasn't the glamorous Sweden of modern design magazines. It was a harsh, rural landscape of dense forests and rocky, unforgiving soil. In Småland, the culture was defined by a single word: snål. It means being extremely frugal, even stingy. In this environment, wasting a single scrap of wood or a minute of daylight was considered a moral failure. These deeply rooted Lutheran traditions of hard work would become the DNA of IKEA. Even as a 5-year-old, Kamprad didn't play like other children. He observed. He noticed that matches were sold in bulk for a pittance in Stockholm, but were rare and expensive in his remote village. With a small loan from his aunt, he bought his first batch of matches in bulk. He hopped on his bicycle and pedaled to distant farms, selling the matches individually. The profit was tiny, but the lesson was massive. If you bridge the gap between high-volume supply and isolated demand, you create a business. By his teenage years, his bicycle had become a mobile department store. He expanded his inventory to include fish, Christmas tree decorations, seeds, and eventually fountain pens. He realized that entrepreneurship wasn't necessarily about inventing something new. It was about delivering existing products more efficiently than anyone else. In 1943, at the age of 17, his father gave him a small cash reward for succeeding in his studies. While his peers spent their money on celebrations, Kamprad used it to register a business name that would eventually become a household word: IKEA. The name was an acronym of his life: Ingvar Kamprad, Elmtarid, the family farm, and Agunarid, his home village. In the beginning, IKEA was a simple mail-order business operated out of a shed. In the 1940s, rural Sweden was geographically isolated. Getting to a city store was a major ordeal. Kamprad's innovation was simple: bring the store to the customer's kitchen table through printed lists in the postal service. By 1951, he noticed that furniture was becoming his most popular category. But the furniture industry of the 50s was stagnant. It was an elite luxury, heavy, handcrafted, and priced far beyond the reach of the average working family. Kamprad saw an opportunity to democratize the home. He began seeking manufacturers who could mass-produce designs using industrial methods. However, success brought enemies. Established furniture retailers in Sweden were so threatened by Kamprad's low prices that they organized a boycott. They pressured suppliers to stop selling to IKEA. This could have been the end. Instead, it forced Kamprad into his most brilliant move. He went to Poland. By sourcing components behind the Iron Curtain, he found even lower manufacturing costs and secured his supply chain, effectively bypassing the Swedish monopoly. In 1956, a moment of minor frustration changed global commerce forever. An IKEA employee named Gillis Lundgren was trying to fit a wooden table into a small car for a photo shoot. The legs wouldn't fit. Frustrated, Lundgren said, "Let's just pull the legs off and put them under the tabletop." Kamprad had a eureka moment. He realized that traditional furniture stores were essentially paying to ship and store air, the empty space between table legs and inside cupboards. If furniture could be shipped in flat boxes and assembled by the customer, logistics costs would be slashed by over 80%. This was the birth of the flat pack. It wasn't just a design choice, it was a total economic disruption. The flat pack also created a psychological phenomenon now known as the IKEA effect. Behavioral economists found that people value products more when they have put labor into creating them. By making the customer the final part of the assembly line, Kamprad didn't just save money. It made his customers feel a deeper sense of ownership and pride in their home. In 1958, Kamprad opened the first major IKEA store in Älmhult. He wanted to kill the museum feel of traditional furniture showrooms. He created fully decorated rooms where customers were encouraged to touch, sit, and test the products. This transparency built a level of trust that was unheard of at the time. As the stores grew, Kamprad and his team engineered the long natural path, the famous maze-like layout. By guiding customers through every single department in a specific order, IKEA ensured maximum exposure to their entire range. You might enter for a frying pan, but by the time you reach the warehouse, you've seen a dream kitchen, a perfect bedroom, and 10 clever storage solutions you didn't know you needed. To keep people in this trance, Kamprad added the IKEA restaurant. He famously remarked that hungry people don't buy furniture. By offering Swedish meatballs at prices so low they seemed like a mistake, he turned a shopping trip into a family outing. Today, IKEA is one of the largest food retailers in the world, with its food often acting as a loss leader to get people into stores. One of the most human elements of the IKEA story is how Kamprad's personal struggle with dyslexia shaped the brand. He found it nearly impossible to remember long, numerical product codes. Instead of fighting his disability, he adapted the company to it. He replaced codes with names. Beds and wardrobes were named after Norwegian places. Dining tables and chairs were named after Finnish places. Rugs were named after Danish locations. This wasn't just a gimmick, it was a functional naming system that made inventory management easier for him and made the products feel like members of the family of customers. A Billy bookcase feels more approachable than Model 704-V. This naming convention became a core part of the IKEA identity, making the brand feel human, quirky, and distinctively Scandinavian. As IKEA expanded globally, Kamprad became one of the wealthiest individuals on the planet. But he never left smoking behind in his mind. He became a legend for his extreme frugality. He reportedly drove a 1993 Volvo 240 for 2 decades. He took the bus. He stayed in budget hotels and flew economy class, often telling his executives that IKEA people do not drive flashy cars or stay in luxury hotels. Critics often call this a calculated PR move to maintain the brand's low-price image. Those close to him said it was genuine. Even waste as a moral sin. He would visit stores incognito and check the trash bins to see if usable materials were being thrown away. He challenged his designers to work backward. He would give them a target price, say a $5 side table, and they had to engineer the product to fit that price without losing quality. This led to innovations like board-on-frame technology, using a honeycomb paper structure inside wood panels to save weight and material. Kamprad's life was not without controversy. In the 1990s, journalists revealed that in his youth, he had been an active member of Swedish pro-fascist and nationalist groups. The news threatened to destroy IKEA. Kamprad didn't hide. He wrote a raw, emotional letter to all employees, calling it the greatest mistake of my life. He asked for forgiveness, and his transparency largely saved the company's reputation. To ensure IKEA's eternal life, Kamprad also created one of the most complex corporate structures in history. The company is owned by a web of foundations in the Netherlands and Liechtenstein. This makes IKEA takeover-proof. It cannot be bought, sold, or taken public. This allows the company to think in terms of decades, not quarters. They can afford to lose money in a new market for 10 years because they have no shareholders to answer to. Ingvar Kamprad passed away in 2018 at the age of 91. He left behind a global empire that had fundamentally changed how we live. IKEA isn't just a store, it's a cultural force. It's estimated that 1 in 10 Europeans is conceived in an IKEA bed. Kamprad's journey from a boy with a bicycle and a box of matches to a global titan is a testament to the power of simplicity, frugality, and a relentless focus on the many people. He proved that you don't need to be elitist to be successful. You just need to solve a problem for the average person better than anyone else. If the story of Ingvar Kamprad and the rise of IKEA has changed the way you look at your living room, make sure to hit the like button. It helps us bring more of these deep dive business biographies to light. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode on the titans who built the modern world. Who should we cover next? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.